welcome to Sparkling Diamonds with Brittany and Robin. This is Robin with week 3 of Suicide Awareness Month for the month of September. And today, I'm actually going to be diamond painting with you as we talk about the topic this week. So I am working on none other than the wonderful, lovely Randall Spangler. And this is a trick-or-treat house. I love Randall Spangler as houses. Thought this would be good for the fall season. And believe it or not, guys, we're talking almost Halloween. Who would have thought, right? This is like the middle of September. Today is September the 17th, if I'm right about that. And I'm using release papers by none other than the wonderful, the terrific Crashly. If you're not familiar with her, I'd highly, highly recommend you go check out her YouTube video and her store. She is one of my most favorite people, most genuine person I think I have seen on YouTube in a long time. And her store is forever growing. Absolutely. Me, Brittany, and I are both huge fans of hers. And so I would highly recommend watching her and checking out her store. Let me add some wax to my pen while we're getting caught up here. And what I'm using in my pen is none other than WeeWax from our lovely Laura. WeeWax, so you can tell, and both Brittany and I have really gotten to where we are huge fans of WeeWax, both the putty and the wax. We're more new to the putty, but we've been fans of the wax for quite a while. So if you've not checked out WeeWax, highly pay attention to her drops. They go really quickly, but she is really good about restocking. And she's just also a lovely person with a YouTube channel. Highly recommend that you check her channel out. And the section that I'm actually going to be working on today as we talk is, let me show you in a second. Let me show you something about WeeWax. So I'm loading up my pen, right? And I'm getting off all the excess wax. So I gotta have this drill here. What I'm doing is actually gotta take the drill and mash down on it. And you see what's happening? This excess wax is coming to the side. And this way, when I start placing the drills, I'm not gonna have excess wax getting on my canvas. It's gonna already come out on the release paper and on the drills. So that's just a little bit tip if you didn't already know, that I learned from none other than the famous Laura. She has been a YouTuber forever. She has been around this community she is one of the oldest diamond painting channels that there is. So if you've not checked her out, and if you're not familiar with her, we'll leave a link to her YouTube channel and her shop down below. And I highly recommend checking her out. So what we're going to be talking about today is, again, this is Suicide Awareness Week 3 month of September. For the whole month is Suicide Awareness. And I want to begin by saying, if anyone that you know is experiencing, or you yourself is experiencing thoughts of suicide or feelings of just wanting to be dead, there is a number that you can call. It's called 988. Its number is 988. That is a United States number, and you can speak to somebody right away that would be willing to talk to you. Also, I would highly recommend you find a therapist that you can talk to on a regular basis, and somebody that you can connect to and that you can trust. If you don't know how to go about finding a good therapist, there are several links out there. I'll have Brittany link them below. But there's Psychology Today, and you can actually narrow it down to where you live, and then what it is you're needing help with, whether it's anxiety, depression, OCD, personality disorder, just stress from the world that we're living in, which is what we're going to be talking about this week. You can find pretty much, if you think you're needing medication, you're working with a therapist and you think you need medication, you can find subscribers on Psychology Today. There's also another great referral site called Headway, and Headway is a lot like Psychology Today in that you can narrow it down to what you're looking for. If you're somebody who works 9 to 5 and you're like, Robin, I don't have time, I work this job 9 to 5, you can find somebody that has late evening hours, weekend hours, and then they'll help meet you where you are, and whether or not they take insurance or they're self-pay. All those things are on Psychology Today, so I highly suggest those as a jumping off point for finding the help that you need. And obviously, if you're in a crisis and you cannot wait, or you don't think 988 is going to be sufficient for you, you can always go to your local crisis center. They do have pretty much mental health crisis centers. They're popping up everywhere now. But then you can also go to your local emergency room, ask for the psychiatrist on call, and they can help you to get you connected with some resources as well. And also, I'm a part of the listserv in the area, so even if somebody reaches out to me and I'm not a specialist in what it is that you're needing, I will help you find someone that is by posting, hey, I've got this 25-year-old who's having some problems with depression or anxiety, and they're needing a referral in, I don't know, San Diego, California. Do you know anybody that works in the area? And even though my listserv is really around here, we have a psychiatrist or a prescriber listserv that is all over the United States, and you would be surprised how many of those people have they do have people, because it's really kind of a smaller, tight-knit prescribing community. We do workshops together, we do training together every Sunday, educational. We do educational. We recommend the latest evidence-based practice, what the research is showing, so we can all stay top of the latest news. So while I may not know anybody in California myself, I'll help you find somebody. And that's true for most everybody. And I will say also, most everybody on these listservs, they really do care. Like, you're not on a listserv because you are just surfing. You're on a listserv because you want help with helping your patients in one way or another. So, I'm not reflecting off the camera, so I hope that you can see really well this week what I am doing. And if you can't, I hope you just listen along. So this past week has been a hard one with everything going on in the news. And I want to start, I think, just sitting here diamond painting and talking about just diamond painting, I think I would be doing a big injustice to remind everybody that it's okay to limit how much news that we consume. And sometimes it's actually healthier to turn it off and spend time with supporting people rather than listening to the news. Do something positive for ourselves. I often say to my patients, if they don't leave with a prescription for a medication, I'll say, I'm going to write you a prescription to limit or avoid the amount of news that you watch this week. And that is actually really a good advice for us all at times, right? I'm not saying close your eyes to things that are happening, but I am saying if you're feeling it's affecting your mood and how you're interacting with one people in the world, let's limit it and do something positive for ourselves. One practice I recommend, that if you've been around this channel anytime, is writing down 3 good things that happened each night. Simple moments of gratitude. It helps with reframing your thoughts. And it helps us it reminds us that for a while that while there are bad things in the world, the entire world is not bad. 3 good things has been proven to be just as effective as an antidepressant, in that it does affect the serotonin level in our body in a natural, healthy way by focusing on 3 good things that happened that day. And if you're struggling with that, I would say give it time. Come up with some basic things. I don't care how silly you think they are. Hey, I made lunch for myself. Hey, I did something that I enjoyed for 20 minutes. Hey, I slept in, got 20 minutes of extra sleep when I had a really rough night last night. We can all find 3 good things. And remember what I talked about last week? Surrounding yourself with support and people that are positive. And remind yourself that, there are bad people in the world, but the world as a whole is not a bad place. That'll fall back into that all or none thinking where we tend to get stuck in, and that can lead us into a spiral. The world is not, everybody in the world is not horrible. There are bad people that will do bad things, but it doesn't make everyone in the world a horrible, or the world itself a horrible place to live in. And the kind of all or none thinking, it just traps us into the same kind of thinking that plays a role in mental health struggles like depression and anxiety. And so today we're gonna bring some awareness into our hobby of diamond painting and other hobbies, but mainly diamond painting, and how it helps, but then also how it can hurt and how we can find a balance. And if we have time at the end, I'll share my own story with you, a little bit about my own struggle that I recently went through with diamond painting. But let's start with something that I hinted about in a 10-minute video I did, I think, on Saturday. And that's something that most of us have felt. And believe it or not, it does cause anxiety. And if you don't believe this, go check out Lizette Crafts and Tells, I believe it is. I've been a member of Lizette's her channel, not only a subscriber, but I'm one of her paid members. Since day one of diamond painting, she is one of my most favorite YouTubers, and she actually talked about how she, did all these diamond paintings in 2 years. Lizette talks about how diamond painting, that FOMO, can get you into a trap and that you feel pressure to buy. But in the diamond painting world, FOMO shows up all the time. It's countdown timers, surprise drops, and those just chance emails. It's smart marketing. It creates excitement, but it can also create pressure. And we start thinking, if I don't grab this kit right now, I'll never have it. Or everyone else in this community will have it and I'll be left behind. And, I remember when I started diamond painting, that actually was a really big fear because YouTubers that do some marketing for some of these companies would be like, oh, I can see this one selling out really quickly. And, and I'm afraid of it selling out. Can I just say that I've been diamond painting, Brittany and I now have been diamond painting for 2 years. And every diamond, oops, see all those drills go flying? Every diamond painting that we have wanted that wasn't, that because they had been discontinued when we started diamond painting, it come up in D-stash groups at some time or another. And D-stash groups are on Facebook. You can get them sometimes for a little bit of an unreasonable price on Poshmark or Mercari. But I would say, remember that there has never been a diamond painting that I have not wanted, that I have not been able to pick up on a D-stash group. And so I want you to remind yourself of that. And when you see these diamond paintings selling out, say, at some time or another, this will probably most likely show up on a D-stash group, and then watch the D-stash groups. Join them. Surf them every once in a while. Put up an search all post. So FOMO, the fear of missing out if you don't know what that stands for, doesn't just exist in diamond painting. It exists in a lot of other sales techniques as well. It's a marketing, I say market employer, as I said on Saturday, marketing genius. If you don't get this right now, I see this a lot on YouTube and a lot of commercials. No, my product wasn't available in Amazon or Walmart, so we only have a limited supply of this, and if you don't go buy it right this moment, it's gonna be gone. And oftentimes those things are really gimmicks, like a perfect pillow, or some kind of the latest little scam that somebody's got going on that ends up lasting for that commercial where they have a limited number, lasts for like a year, and then somehow or another it remarkably ends up coming back even though they only had this limited number. If you don't go buy it right now, you're going to miss out. Well, that fear can push us into buying more than we plan, spend money that we don't have, and add stress when we should be relaxing. And stress tied to finances is one of the leading triggers for depression and anxiety. And can I tell you how many diamond painters I have seen that have said, I'm not having money for this, that, or the other. We're really struggling right now. We're not employed, or we're on limited income because of a disability or whatever. And then they're like, okay, I had to go pick this up because I didn't want to miss out on it. Yeah. And so what ends up happening is that puts us in this financial bind, and we're not able to pay our bills, or we're not able, we're cutting back in other places that are a necessity, or we're getting behind on our mortgage, or whatever that may be. And that will cause insomnia and stress. So Whether it's a market employee or marketing genius or maybe both, the important thing is to ask yourself before you hit checkout is, am I buying this because I truly love it? Or am I buying it because I'm afraid I'll miss out? And there's no shame in saying no. Setting a budget and sticking to it, it can help protect not only your wallet but your peace of mind. And so step 2, the positives of diamond painting. I want to talk about ignoring the positive because there are a lot of positives to diamond painting. It can calm our mind. It can reduce activity. It can reduce anxiety through repetitive, soothing motions, right? It can help us focus and practice patience. It can boost our mood when we finish a canvas and we see the results. It can give us a sense of community when we can connect with other healthy diamond painters online. And these are real mental health benefits, and many of us have felt them firsthand. I know when I joined this community, I was oblivious to marketing employees or geniuses or YouTubers that focus a lot on negativity, right? Or, you know, or the whole FOMO thing. I didn't even know what FOMO was, a fear of missing out. But there is, like everything, there's another side that we need to talk about, especially during Suicide Awareness Month. Diamond painting can be addictive. And maybe you've told yourself just one more section and suddenly it's 3 a.m. And so this is where it starts affecting our health. And so I want to remind you to what I've said in many of my mental health videos. For those of you who don't know, I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. I'm in private practice, and I have seen so many people struggling the last few weeks. And I think this is so important to talk about, the darker side. But one of the things that I talk about in my mental health videos is sleep, diet, exercise, and finding a support system and things that you love that fill your cup up and that make you happy. But I want to talk about the staying up to 3 a.m. to just finish that one more section. If we are doing this and we're staying up late and we are to finish a section, that's interfering in our sleep. If we're forgetting meals or choosing quick junk food just to keep diamond painting because we don't want to meal prep, or because we're door dashing because we don't want to take the time to cook. It's way quicker, and diamond painting is interfering. That's when I stop and take a step back and saying to patients with any hobby, I'm not just talking about diamond painting, is this affecting your mental health? Are you are you reading too much to stay awake late at night? There's a thing called revenge procrastination, where we don't feel like we have enough time during the day, and so we intentionally or unintentionally, kind of unconsciously try to fight sleep to do the things or get caught up in the things that we miss during the day because of our busy, hectic lives. And so if you find yourself getting to that trap of one more section and you're going to bed at 3 a.m. and you're getting up at 1 a.m., reevaluate your sleep patterns, because it's really important to get a good night of regular sleep. Try to establish a regular bedtime, wind down routine. Try to get up at the same time every morning. And that leads us in diet. If you don't meal prep, fine. You don't have to meal prep. But, trying to find healthy food that's not like McDonald's every day. Trying to feed our bodies healthy and taking some time to, cook for ourselves and make healthy meals. That's not just, processed foods and, macaroni and cheese and donuts and I don't know. Those kinds of things that, tend to be those foods that are just unhealthy for us. And then exercise. Sitting here for hours and skipping out on movement, it's not healthy. I have a Oura ring in my watch that reminds me it's time to stand. That's true when I'm working, guys. Like, it's good. If you work at a desk, I think having a stand desk is really helpful. If you're somebody that can coordinate your movements tapping while you're walking on one of those step makers. I've seen people that can do it on a treadmill. That's not me, but I'm saying I've seen it. Highly encourage you to use a stand desk and stand throughout your day. You can stand in diamond paint throughout your day with a stand desk. But sitting for hours and skipping movement, that's not going to help. You really need to get out, go for a walk. How many of us diamond painters have pets? Our pets need to be getting out and going for walks. I have little doggies, and they can't tolerate long walks, but they can certainly tolerate multiple short walks. And so that's what we do. We do a little loop around. We live across the street from this little. We live in a community where there's a lot of these little. They just are these. What are they called? They're little circle roads, and they you don't go nowhere on them. And there's one right across from us, so I'm gonna take my dogs out and walk around that little loop, and there's not a lot of traffic, and do that 5 or 6 times a day, and 5 or 6 times a day for 5 or 10 minutes can turn into a rather long walk. And then go for a walk without my dogs where I don't feel limited or constricted, and I can walk faster and longer. And if you're not comfortable, you're not able to walk for a long time, find some kind of exercise where you can get out early in the morning when the sun's coming up, or later in the evening before the sun goes down. Get you some sunshine. Get you some vitamin D. Get you your serotonin, melatonin. We are so quick to pop store-bought melatonin. When we do that enough, our body stops making melatonin. A lot of people don't know that. Melatonin is really meant for short-term use. It's not meant for long-term use. It's meant for people that travel, that come back, and they're trying to get their body readjusted due to a time change, or they're night workers and they're trying to get their body readjusted after, working all night. It is not meant to take every day, because what it does is it stops our body from producing normal melatonin. And the way we get vitamin D and melatonin production is natural sunlight. So get out and enjoy that morning sunlight and that evening sunset. Even if it's for only 5 or 10 minutes a day, get out and get some sunshine. And then social conversation, missing out on times with friends or family, because you'd rather stay with your canvas. It's just not healthy. It's not. We are meant to be social creatures. And a lot of YouTubers, they do other things besides diamond painting. They'll have a game night. They'll do other activities, book clubs, and things like that. You can join in on a book club and be out walking outside, and at the same time talking about a book that you're reading. So if you love these diamond painting communities, find some to also do center around not just diamond painting, but other things. So you won't constantly be sitting at a canvas or be in your car all the time, and you can be getting out and getting some health benefits, or you are prepping your meals or cooking your dinner while you're listening to the book club selection of the month. It can be comforting to diamond paint, but too much can feed isolation, which can worsen depression. Think about it. If you skipped the park with your kids, avoided a get-together, or turned down an invitation because you wanted to stay at home and diamond paint, this is a sign to pause and reflect, because too much of anything can be bad. And so some practical tips to help is just set a timer or an alarm to remind you to take breaks. You know, Dreamers Designs now has that timer where you can set it and you can actually keep up with how much time you're diamond painting. Ask yourself daily, have I moved my body today? Set that reminder on your rings and your watches to remind you to stand up. Combine crafting with health. Stretch while painting. Drink water. Keep your healthy snacks nearby. Most importantly, give yourself permission to put it down and come back later. And step 4, the next part is for you YouTube creators and content creators. And I just want to speak to my fellow YouTubers who are also diamond painter creators. When your hobby becomes your full-time job, this pressure can get even heavier. The algorithm wants more videos. Viewers expect more constant updates, and it's tempting to never stop filming, painting, editing, creating. But here's the truth. YouTube can be treated like a 9-to-5 job. Even if it's flexible, you still need days off. If you don't rest, you risk burnout, and burnout can harm your mental and your physical health. So schedule breaks. Take care of yourself. Remember that your audience will still be there if you step back for a few days, and what matters most is your health and the health of your pets and the health of your kids. And the next thing is balance and a big picture. The big message is this. Too much of anything, even something good, can become harmful. And so diamond painting should add to our lives, not take away from it. And if starting is interfering with sleep, diet, exercise, finances, or relationships, it's time to reassess. Ask yourself, is this hobby supporting my well-being, or is it slowly draining me? Finding balance is the key to anything, right? That's the key to our life. And so I want to share a little bit of my own personal story. A few months ago, I was diamond painting. We're working with Brittany with videos, and I began to suffer from. It wasn't necessarily burnout initially with diamond painting. It was some depression. And I began to really pay attention to how much I was diamond painting, how much I was putting into making the videos with Brittany. And I began to realize, hey, Robin, you need to take a step back. So I began by taking a step back from the video creation stand part of it. And, you know, Brittany made some videos on her own because Brittany, you know, she has a very healthy life balance. Let me say, I'm very proud that that is something that I hope I've installed her with that. Maybe she got it on her own, but she does have a healthy life balance. I don't think she'd mind me telling you she went for a physical lately, and her doctor told her she was actually one of the healthiest patients that she had. And you know, she's young, and I think the younger you are too, the more you can find that healthy life balance. So taking a step back from creating. But then when I took the step back from creating, I began to find something was not right. And so I began to do what I was doing, you know, getting out and taking for walks, journaling, you know, doing 3 good things every day, making sure that I was spending time with my friends and my family, and spending time with my wonderful Yorkies that are my best friends too, my kids, and, you know, doing all of that. And I didn't diamond paint for probably 3 weeks as it took a while to actually begin to reestablish that routine and get some perspective on, Robin, what is really going on here? So recently, about 2 weeks ago, I started diamond painting a little bit, started incorporating some more activity, and so I'm still diamond painting. I'm definitely not diamond painting to the level that I was. Also, I'm making sure that I continue to do the incorporate some healthy planning, not constantly ordering from DoorDash, and doing some meal prepping. Brittany and I went to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods over the weekend and talked about meal prepping. We went out and we got out and we did some things that we loved. And when I did finally pick up and diamond paint, the first thing I did was I said, I'm not doing an event right now. We had just wrapped up an event, and I'm going to find a canvas that I was working on that I liked, and that happened to be Trick or Treat House. And while Drills and Chills is going on, I think you can get burnt out with events. I'm not necessarily participating in Drills and Chills, but I want to have a sense of community. And there's a lot of people that are doing fall canvases, and it is fall, and everything pumpkin going on in the world, and this is the perfect time to wrap up this canvas. I'm almost done with it, and so I pulled it back out. My heart felt happy. I worked on a doggy canvas for a while from the one with the diamond art, and then I pulled this one out to feel some community, and so I'm going to be finishing this canvas next. And it's been one of the healthiest decisions I made, and maybe that's not where you are, and I respect that. I always say I meet my patients where they are. And I think that, maybe this doesn't apply to you. If not, you just skip on by it and you don't have to listen to it. But I think it's important that we do have some perspective in our life on anything that we do, and we don't feed into societal pressures. And we just remind ourselves, it's been a hard week. My patients are having a hard time. Life's hard right now. People are losing their job, worrying about losing their job, having some financial stress. And guys, if you can't afford to buy diamond paintings and you see these unboxings and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that. Remember, join a D-Stash group. I'll have Brittany link some of those below. And remind yourself, hey, somebody sometime along the way, they're going to be destashing this. It may not be in the next 2 or 3 months, but do you really not have enough diamond paintings that you can't find something that you love? Bring out that rainy day stash diamond painting, because this is a hobby that is meant, if your hobbies aren't making you happy, you need to reevaluate your hobbies, because what fills that cup up, what brings you happiness, it may not be the same thing that brings other creators happiness, but find that out and go back to the root of what did bring you happiness, and finding that joy and that inner peace, and taking care of ourselves, and going back to basic 101, getting lots of sleep, reestablishing a sleep pattern, eating a healthy diet, and getting some exercise, and finding the community that you love, taking your kids to the park, taking your doggies to the doggy parks, getting out, enjoying this cooler time of life when you don't have the hot air isn't taking our breath away, and reminding ourselves again, while there's bad things in the world, everybody in the world is not bad. And when you associate yourself with negative people, there's only so much negativity before it begins to rub off on yourself. And take a step back and say, hey, whether it's a diamond painting channel, any kind of YouTube channel, whether it's bad news, take a step back and say, hey, I don't need to watch this. Get it out of your algorithm. You can turn your algorithm into whatever you want. That's one thing I have learned. And so get that negativity out of your life and bring in some joy and some happiness. So as I wrap up, I want to circle back to the reason we're having these conversations, Suicide Awareness Month. Struggles with depression, stress, money worries, or feelings of isolation are real. If you ever find yourself in a dark place, please reach out for help. Call 988 in the United States to connect with Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You're not alone. And as for daily life, try the practice of writing down 3 good things each night. Surround yourself with positivity and connection. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. Let me know in the comments how you balance diamond painting with your health and your life. And if this video has resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it, because awareness and community matters. All right, so finally, I know we had some entries into their Suicide Awareness Month diamond painting giveaway. And so this month, I'm going to be giving away some diamond paintings, some release paper, some putty, and I'll show you right here what we're going to be giving away, and we'll spin the wheel and see who this week's winner is. Okay, so this week we have 45 entries, and we're going to shuffle through the names. Thanks to everybody who entered this week, and good luck as we shuffle the wheel. Oh,
that was close.
Kiana Waters.
Congratulations, Kenya.
It's Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya
Waters.
Yay.
Congratulations, Kenya. Cannot talk. All right, guys. Thank you so much for entering. Don't forget to enter for next week's prize.
All right, guys. Here are the prizes for this week. So we did a couple of the small diamond paintings. Let's see if you can see the photos. You got like a little, I think they're all pretty much like floral and like butterflies. And then the last one. And then we've got some cute little diamond painting cards. There's going to be 3 different ones in here. A cute little diamond dots gingerbread man. You've got some Putty Crocker wax that's gain scented. I'm sorry, this is Putty Crocker putty that's gain scented. And then you have some Pure Bliss Wax Company Winter Fairy Wax. Rainbow Butterfly Release Paper from Crafts with Crashly. Some pretty floral release paper. A black heart cover minder. And a cute black penguin lily pad. So that's the prize pack for this week.
And if you're interested in joining for next week, you just have your diamond painting posted with a positive quote. If you don't have social media, you can always email it to us at sparklingdiamonds2004@gmail.com, and with your diamond painting with a positive quote, and we'll get you entered in to that. You make this post before Saturday night at midnight. And this upcoming week's giveaway is going to be, I think you all are going to be really surprised, because I'm giving away a rather, it is diamond painting related, in the sense that some people, okay, you can use it for diamond painting. It's something that's recently came up, and it definitely can be used for diamond painting. I got a couple gifted to me. Brittany has one. It's not necessarily cheap, so it weighs a lot. Let's see if y'all can guess that. But I'll be going to be having a big prize package this coming week. It's going to be valued well over $100. So enter those diamond paintings with your positive thought. And there is no amount of progress required. I just want you to do the diamond painting that you love, ever how much you have time for. But more importantly, I want you to tell me you're spending some time with your family. You're getting out and getting some exercise, eating healthy, taking care of yourself, getting a good night's sleep. And as always, thank you so much for following us as we do our crafting journal. Thank you for following the mental health content. if you ever need any kind of assistance in helping find providers in your area, because I know we're in North Carolina. I'm licensed in North Carolina, and I have an active license in California. So I can assist you. Well, I can't treat you. I can't treat, a friend or family member or somebody in another state. I can always link you with resources. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to be kind to everybody, both in the real world, social media, and in the comment section. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys. Have a lovely week.